Many people see Samsung as the titanic and confusing business conglomerate in South Korea, known to be so dominant that some call the country the Republic of Samsung. But for many years, the country's economic development was not led by Samsung, but rather its competitor Hyundai. You might have heard the Hyundai Motor Group, a massive company making about $96 billion in 2020, and you might even have one of their cars in your parking lot. It is the main cash cow of the Hyundai family of businesses, but there are others as well. Hyundai Heavy Industries is the largest shipbuilding company in the world, just ahead of rival Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Its shipyard in Ulsan is one of the biggest in the world. Hyundai Engineering Construction is one of the oldest businesses in the family, having pulled off a wide range of ambitious construction projects across its history, and is currently owned by the Automotive Group. Other large but unrelated businesses include a marine and fire insurance company, an elevator company, and a department stores company. All in all, there are over 50 individual Hyundai businesses, and it's all quite confusing, and I hope you guys can keep up. The interesting thing about these businesses is that most of them are not legally connected to each other in a group structure, quote unquote, the same way it is with Samsung. The Hyundai Group broke up in 2000, but most of the remnants are still run by relatives of the original founder, Chung Ju Yung. Let's talk about him. Founder Chung Ju Yung started Hyundai in 1946 with a single little business, Hyundai Motors. They did not make any cars, but instead did repair and maintenance for US soldiers stationed in South Korea at the time. The next year, he founded Hyundai Engineering and Construction and magically received government contracts to build port facilities, roads, and military camps all across South Korea. They learned quickly while on the job, within a decade building ambitious construction projects like the Han River Footbridge construction project in 1957, the Gyeongbu Express Highway, one of Korea's most important, in 1968, and the Seoul Subway in 1974. By 1965, Hyundai determined that they had enough experience to go abroad. They gained a reputation for taking on ambitious projects with risk few other businesses would take. This included the Patani Narathiwat Highway in Thailand in 1966, the Arab Shipbuilding Yard in Bahrain in 1975, and the immense Jubail Industrial Port in Saudi Arabia in 1976, at the time the biggest port construction project in the 20th century. Other businesses were founded to serve the needs of the core construction business, including Hyundai Elevator and Shipbuilding. Chung figured that if they were building ports and facilities for the Middle Easterners, then they might as well also build the ships that served them. From there, the Hyundai family grew to dozens of companies. Hyundai Automotive made great strides, starting with putting together car kits from Ford, but eventually learning enough to create the first independently designed and built Korean car, the Pony, in 1976. They entered the US market in 1986 with the XL. To build these cars, Hyundai worked with Mitsubishi and other companies across the world, first licensing their technologies before replacing them with their own designs. By 1991, the company's cars were made with 100% domestic technologies. Chung Ju Yung won contracts by setting ambitious goals that seemed almost impossible at first glance. Artificial crisis to him was not a crisis, but a motivational tactic that forced the company to adopt novel technologies and techniques, to learn while doing, and to work like dogs. For example, the government budget for the aforementioned Gyeongbu Express Highway was $68 million, but Hyundai declared that they could do it for $38. The project was delivered $5 million under budget. But when things fell short of expectation, Chung Ju Yung serviced his customers well by keeping to his word. They lost money on the Thailand project, being over $100,000 over budget, but the company ate the costs themselves and in return received more projects over time. But there are plenty of companies who learned quickly and made big promises. The foundation to Hyundai's success was allying closely with the Park Chung-hee administration as the government embarked on its heavy and chemical industrialization drive in the 1970s. Together with Samsung and LG, Hyundai consulted closely with the government and received financial subsidies and loan guarantees for growth. As the industrial drive shifted from shipbuilding to electronics to other industries, Hyundai or other big chaebol were there to take advantage. They rode this wave to become one of the biggest companies in the world. The breakup of the Hyundai Group during the Asian financial crisis in 1997 is the classic tale of overreach. Simply put, the company overleveraged itself and was forced by investors and creditors to break up. The trouble started when the founder Chung Ju Yung ran for the presidency in 1992. Hyundai backed it with everything they got, with much of the membership in Chung's party coming from the company. He lost, and when you come at the king, you best not miss. World's biggest surprise that Hyundai's contracts and subsidies mysteriously vanished during the next administration. No new projects, no raising funds via government guaranteed bonds, and no starting new companies. This let Samsung catch up, and so they did. There should have been an opportunity for Hyundai to prune and get profitable, but instead they chose to wait it out. They developed a super close relationship with the next Kim Dae-jung administration and its Sunshine Policy, with Hyundai starting economic partnerships with North Korea. To support, Hyundai borrowed and spent wildly to catch up to Samsung. They grew immensely, even coming out ahead of Samsung revenue-wise, but profit-wise lost trillions of won. The North Korean businesses lost immense amounts of money. The conglomerate craved outside capital to keep going, and when the markets cut them off in 2000, the company was forced by its creditors to break apart. Beyond all of this debt was a succession crisis. The founder, Chung Ju Yung, had 5 brothers and 11 children, including 8 sons. As the debt crisis mounted, they fought amongst each other for the most profitable businesses. By mid-2000, Hyundai had shrunken from 89 businesses down to 53. The creditor banks forced the family to give up controlling rights to a number of businesses, including Hyundai Construction. Did the Hyundai Group really break up? As I mentioned earlier, much of the individual companies are still being run by the relatives of the founder. And with Hyundai Motors being the second biggest single company in South Korea after Samsung Electronics, Hyundai Heavy Industries Company being the biggest shipbuilder in the whole world, you can probably argue that the group is still alive and well today. But one thing that is for sure true is that Hyundai's major stumbles in 2000 ended its rivalry between it and Samsung. Samsung retrenched through the crisis and came out stronger than ever before, while Hyundai lost the lead and fell behind. Hyundai Electronics could not compete, and Samsung Electronics went on to dominate the world. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. That's it for tonight. If you want more content, you can like and subscribe to the channel. I'd like it if you did. And remember to hit up the email newsletter and sign up. Want to send me an email? Drop me a line at john@asianometry.com. I love getting letters from viewers. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.